Good morning. I would try that again. Good morning. I like it. I like it. Okay. Well, welcome to the March meeting of the Dallas chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution. This is a very special meeting for us every year. And obviously you can tell by the size of our honors guests here that we thank you very much for all that you do. And this is our red, white, and blue annual meeting for our first responders. And we'll get into that very quickly. To get the meeting started, I would ask that we get an invocation from our First Vice President, Mark Harrison. Please stand.
Father, we want to thank you for this special day and for the healing rains that you sent overnight. Lord, thank you for the people that we're honoring today that take such good care of our community and serve us so unselfishly. Lord, I pray that you'll be with us through this upcoming day and through this weekend and bless us as we move forward. In Christ's name.
Thank you, Mark. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Compatriot Mark Howell, would you lead us in the pledge to the Texas flag? Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. The affirmation of the SAR, Dr. Jim Battles.
We, the descendants of the heroes of American Revolution, who by their sacrifices established the United States of America, reaffirm our faith in the principles of liberty in our constitutional republic, and solemnly pledge ourselves to defend and against every foe.
And compatriot Warren Johnson, would you lead us in America?
Our country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Please be seated. Our hospitality chairman, Mr. Ralph McDowell. How is the house this morning?
Our great second VP helped here this morning to greet all of you. We hope that we greeted you well and we want you to have a good time. And also, we have something special to do, Mr. President. I'm going to ask John Morton, one of our great baritone singers. We're going to honor someone. Happy birthday to Judy Van Foster. Audience who have a birthday in March. We'd love to visit you this great. This is our president-elect of the state society. You got to do secretary again? Is it private? You're a super job. It's close to that. We tell you who did anyone in here did baby news? Okay, Judy, I guess the party's for you. Would someone have a cake? Birthday cake. Well, I tell you what, since we have firemen here today, I looked at the number of candles that had to go on a cake. Tom said, no, you better leave that alone. I don't want to walk home, so what we're going to do instead is we're going to give her a cake with the number 9 on it for the 9th day in March. And then on the bottom of the other 340
Thank you.
in the car.
Thank you so much.
Okay, take it away.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Judy. Happy birthday to you.
Next month. I'll send that to National Enquirer.
Thank you.
Now, for those of you who were not wondering why my wife is here at this meeting, she does come to other meetings. But right after the meeting, I've got a quick advisory council meeting, and then she and I are taking off for the weekend for her birthday. Yep. So just watch out those slot machines. You never can tell. Anyhow, before I get into the real crux of the program, I do want to recognize some of our dignitaries that are here. All of our first responders, a hand for them. And as Ralph was trying to mention, Drake Petty, who's the secretary of our state organization, and Gary Lovell, who is our District 6 vice president and back. Now, let's do a couple of the member type table. Jerry, you've got some guests?
Well, they're only guests for another couple of minutes.
True.
They're going to be inducted today. So I have Kirby Tassos, I got Ray Fox, and I got Russell Lemon. So they're new members.
Gentlemen. Any other tables in the back? Do we have any other visitors? Oh, we've got one back here.
Hi, I'm Mark, my wife, Mark Wallis, who's also a member of the DAR.
Welcome to you both. Okay, very, very good. Now it's my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce our first vice president and chairman of our programs, Mark Harrison, who is going to handle the awards this morning.
Thank you, Tom. First of all, I'd like to welcome all of our guests today. This is a very special time for us to be able to honor the first responders that do keep Dallas safe, and we do appreciate your service. A couple of things. I'll call up the person who's going to be presenting the awards to each of the individuals one at a time. But guys, as you do come up, if you do have family members here with you, if you could take just a second to introduce your family members, because we would like to be able to recognize them. So, okay, first we're going to start off with recognizing the Dallas Police Department first, and the different awards that they're being awarded. I'd like to call Jim Spaulding up first and let him introduce.
Well, good morning, and thank you for having us, and we appreciate the invitation to be here. Today, it's my honor to introduce one of my detectives that work for me. That's Scott Bazan, and Scott's been with the Dallas Police Department for 21 years, and he's been assigned to the crime scene response section for 11 of those years. Scott serves as a field training officer for new hired crime scene technicians or analysts, and Scott's received specialized training from the FBI in the field of photography. Scott continues to distinguish himself as a valuable asset to the unit. He's a leader, among his peers, and he's a role model to the entire section. Our mission statement, Dallas Police Department Crime Scene, is to provide the department personnel and members of the community with the highest forensic services available. Scott always strives to provide the highest quality of customer service to all he comes in contact with. He's continually sought after by detectives and other officers throughout the department to assist them in their own investigations, and he provides excellent advice regarding processing crime scenes. One incident in particular that stands out, on July 7th of 2016, the officer-involved shootings downtown. Scott had worked all day and came back into work that day without having to be called, and he responded. There was multiple scenes to be processed. Scott photographed and collected vital evidence during the incident, and he assisted the FBI in the overall investigation. After the incident, the scene was shut down for approximately a week, and Scott acted as our liaison between the FBI and the Dallas Police Department and crime scene. He also volunteered to work the whole week, even on his days off, to maintain the integrity of the crime scene, as well as to help communicate between the two agencies. So it's with my honor that I recommended crime scene detective Scott Bazan for this award for continuing to set a high standard for the Dallas Police Department crime scene, and by going above and beyond to ensure the mission of the section is accomplished day in and day out. So, Scott, thank you. And Scott's going to be presented today with a certificate as well as a medal.
Why don't you guys move over here?
Okay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Love the photo op. Congratulations.
You got family?
Sure.
And I know you have some family members here. Would you introduce them? Would appreciate it.
Well, I just, as you know, I'm Scott Bazan. I'm a detective with the Krafft unit. I really don't know what to say other than thank you. Thank you for the nomination. Thank you for selecting me for this outstanding award. I do my job with no expectation of reward and or praise. I just work hard because that's the way I was taught, and that's the way I'm trying to teach my kids. So, thank you. And I get a little choked up here because pretty cool. I'd like to thank my parents and my wife and my two daughters for the constant support through the good times and the bad. So, thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to call up Major Catrina Shead, please.
Good morning. So first of all, I'd like to say thank you to the Sons of the American Revolution for nominating our officers and our firefighters today. I understand that this is my second or third time being here, and it is a great honor for an organization to actually think about police officers and firefighters. We really appreciate that. Now, it is my honor to tell you about one of my favorite officers that works at the Central Patrol Division. I'm going to read a little bit about what's been written about him, and then I'll tell you a little bit about why he's one of my favorites. So, Officer Tyler Remediz, badge number 9441. He is a Purple Heart recipient of the United States Army. He joined the Dallas Police Department on April 2nd, 2008, and is currently assigned to the First Watch Deployment Unit, which means he works in plain clothes all night. Even though Officer Remediz is one of the youngest officers in the deployment unit in terms of age, His experience level distinguishes him as one of the most active, reliable, and responsible members of this unit. His excellence and selfless work ethics are exhibited every day in his duties. Officer Remediz, getting here in 2008, has only had a 10-year career thus far. Possessing both knowledge and leadership skills from work and the military, Officer Remediz never shies away from difficult tasks and is always willing to assist his fellow officers in a time of need. His leadership ability shines brightly. In most recent assignment, he's volunteered as a bait car coordinator for the Central Division. As the heart of Dallas, Central Division has always suffered from a property crimes issue, especially burglary of motor vehicle and stolen vehicles. The bait car program is an important tool used to combat this wave of property crimes. When the Central Division was in serious need for someone to resume this position, as the bait car coordinator, Officer Remediz did not hesitate to volunteer for that task. Without prior knowledge, training, or experience, Tyler was not backing down from this adversity. He began to educate himself on every aspect of this new assignment. In just a little over 5 months, he, at that time, had flawlessly deployed 106 bait vehicles, which resulted in a total of 25 arrests, as known for prolific offenders. And as a result, Tyler's new task helped tremendously reduce the property crime numbers in the Central Division. In addition to this new task, Tyler has still the responsibility of being an undercover or a plainclothes covert officer. So he's fulfilling 2 tasks for us as an officer for the Central Patrol Division. So now, as the bait car coordinator for the Central Division, is a very, I'd say, arduous task for him. Not giving too much away from this program, you understand what you saw on TV, but Tyler has a mindset where he's very innovative in how he deploys them. He's very creative. I hear he makes up, or I've seen that he makes up these cars called a mom car, where he puts diapers in there and things that a mom would have and leave a purse in there, so it's more attractive for somebody to break into the car. This gives our patrol division the ability to put some of these prolific offenders in jail, which does reduce our crime. All that said about Tyler on this bait car program, the Central Division leads the efforts in the bait car program for 2019 at this time. At the end of the quarter of the year last year in 2018, he had 25 total arrests. At this point in 2019, there have been approximately 27 arrests at the Central Patrol Division in a 3-month time period. He is awesome at his job. He is inspiring. I like him personally because as a commander of a division, oftentimes we don't get to have a good conversation and good relationship with some of the officers. Tyler has the ability to talk to me and explain things to me and tell me what he's doing, and he's comfortable with it. I think Tyler has a tremendous future ahead of him. It is my honor and my privilege to tell you or introduce to you Mr. Tyler Remediz.
Come on, after.
Tyler's eager to get his speech too.
Now, do you want those diapers back now?
I didn't have a speech ready. Major Shed knew that. But thank you, Major Shed. Appreciate the words. Thank you, Sons of American Revolution. It's really cool, like you said, as a veteran. Find it really cool to get an award from a veteran, veterans like you guys, and also being a law enforcement officer. But I want to thank not only you guys, but my family. But I got my wife back there, Celeste. I got my 3 kids, Leela, Owen, and Emma. And then my parents as well. Without all of them, I don't think I'd have the motivation to do most of this stuff. job can be a little stressful at times, but got my dad yelling in my ear, quit being a baby, suck it up, keep drive on. I can tell my dad's a military veteran as well, loves to tell me to drive on. And then my wife, also a veteran of the Air Force, and tells me the same thing, why are you crying? You know, it's our job to keep going. So, but I really appreciate it. I think this is great. I'm really honored to receive this award from you guys, and thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. I failed to mention the awards that these two officers were receiving. Officer Bazan received the SAR Medal for Heroism Award, and Officer Remediz received the Law Enforcement Commendation Medal. Next, Major Shead, if you step forward, please. Would like to present an award to the Dallas Police Department. It's the SAR Flag Award, and it's for the patriotic duty that the department as a whole presents to the community, and the support for the Constitution that they do provide. So,
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to call up a person who, at least for the Dallas Police Department, that we wouldn't be here today. Sheree Salter was our contact, and we'd like to call her up very quickly to recognize her for her work in coordinating this.
You didn't know about this.
Sheree, we appreciate you being here.
And thanks to all the officers who are here today for the Dallas Police Department. Once again, we do honor and appreciate your service. Next, we'd like to recognize and make some presentations to some of the Dallas Fire Rescue Department. First of all, I'd like to call up Lieutenant Lloyd Madden, please. Good. And he will be presenting the Emergency Medical Services Award.
Good morning. I'm actually going to be speaking in lieu. Lieutenant Madden was not able to make it, but should have told you that earlier. Hi, my name is Lieutenant Cory Glanton, and I am currently the Battalion 4 Swing Lieutenant, and have been working with Mr. Henderson for the last, I guess it's 13 months. Darrin Henderson has been a vital part of the crew at Station 37 since May 26, 2011. He's done an exemplary job since arriving as well. Has a great attitude, a number of attributes, a number of skills, all of which have made him a success while he's been with the Dallas Fire Department. First and foremost, it would be Mr. Henderson's work ethic. His nickname is the Machine, if that tells you anything. He's a veteran. He's been on the department for around 10 years, and it's not uncommon to see him doing morning duties with the rookies. Anything from cleaning toilets, taking the trash out, things that you typically expect to see from the newer members. Hendo is right there with the rest of them. Along with being a tremendously good paramedic, which I've had many opportunities to witness, there's quite a few other attributes that ultimately make him a firefighter's firefighter. Beyond knowing his district, in short, he's a leader. He does everything he can to teach the rookies, never hesitates to offer a helping hand to any of the new guys. And in short, he's really the kind of person you want to have if you're going to go into an EMS call, if you're going to go into a fire call. You can count on him. From his calm demeanor to his work ethic, he leads by example and does not hesitate to perform any assignment that he is given. There's a few things I wanted to mention. He's been recognized for his performance before and actions during his career with the Dallas Fire Department. On April 12th, 2011, he received a letter of exemplary performance for outstanding patient care that led to a patient's life being saved. On June 9th, 2014, he received a letter of commendation for his actions during the search of a missing first responder. November 10th, 2014, he received a letter of commendation for his exemplary attitude and cooperation with Home Depot's Safety Month Kids Workshop. And finally, December 14th, 2016, a letter of recognition from Presbyterian Hospital for his outstanding patient care that led to another patient's life being saved. I've had the opportunity to see him work fire calls, EMS calls, as I mentioned before, and he is the person that you want. From being the person you want on your engine or your rescue, he's also the person that an additional engine or additional rescue would want to see showing up on a scene. For these reasons and many more reasons that we don't have time to get into, I think Darrin Henderson is very deserving of this EMS Commendation Medal. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Darrin Henderson.
Try to say a few words. As well as
Keeping up with the ceremony, I guess I'll say a very short and precise select choice of words. When I got on, it was more of be seen and not heard, so this will be very quick. I really don't care to get awards for what I'm supposed to do, but I do appreciate it greatly. Working with the fire department has really shown me the ideal co-worker, mature, responsible worker for the public. I thank you for this award. Couldn't come at any other timely manner. I thank you, Lou, for your presentation. I sit here and I have to give honor to one of the veterans who groomed me, sitting in the aisle here, Steve Bailey. So I'm paying it forward. As he gave it to me, I pay it forward to the new recruits coming in. Thank you.
The next award is the Fire Safety Commendation Award. I like to call him Captain Chad Smith. See. Good. What's the Fire Safety Commendation Award?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's different.
Okay, I thought I was doing it for the firefighter of the year, so that's how everything's set up. So we'll just go with that. I nominated Lieutenant Dickey, who's sitting over there with you. With me today is the entire crew from 57s. It's pretty much a family-oriented thing there. So on Lieutenant Dickey, in 4 years I've spent with Tim, I've been extremely impressed with his ability to lead our team and get the best out of everybody there. He showed dedication to training our new members to ensure that they're ready to respond. Every shift, we have some type of training that includes the new members and as well as incorporating the more seasoned guys that put them in a role that maybe they haven't been in yet. He has extremely high expectations of the crew, but he doesn't hold anyone to a higher standard than himself. He's constantly looking for ways to improve our tactics, and improve our response to every hazard we encounter. Tim's always looking for ways to do things better, safer, and more efficiently. Whether it be the type of nozzles we use, our current RIT, which is Rapid Intervention Training, hose lays, doesn't matter. Tim's looking to find a better way to do it. He searches for new information and how we can get the best out of it. Lieutenant Dickey's fireground operations are top-notch, and his decision-making is spot on every time. From building construction knowledge to equipment capabilities, he understands that the details of the job are what make for a successful outcome. He knows his job and performs in an exemplary manner each and every run. I'm extremely fortunate every shift to get to work with someone with this level of dedication to the department and to the members. So, Lieutenant Dickey.
You're still our final year.
You can call it what you like.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Also, just a few words.
Thanks, sir.
Sorry. No.
Good morning. Well, we're not used to speaking in front of public, we're not used to speaking at all. You know, when they told me to put my uniform on this morning, I was a little nervous. I was like, what did I do wrong? But, you know, we have these things, we have these dress uniforms on. We take pride in our job, we take pride in every member here. You know, when we speak about family, this is our family, you know. We live a third of our lives with these members here. You know, gone 24 hours a day, got to make it up. All your honeydews when you get back home. You know, we do the best we can. We dedicate ourselves to these guys and to our families. So we take a lot of pride in it. I can't thank you enough for being nominated. Congratulations to all the other award recipients. You know, I'm proud, and I'll continue to do these things as long as I can. Thank y'all.
The next award is the Medal for Heroism for the Fire Department, Fire Rescue. Deputy Chief Jeff Wallis, please.
Well, good morning. Thank you for having us here today. Chief Valles is who actually nominated this recipient, so I'm here for him today. But I want to sort of get caught up to what we're actually celebrating with this next nomination. Defining heroism. Okay, so I looked it up and think, okay, what exactly is heroism? We talk about it all the time. We talk about a person admired for achievements and noble qualities, and one who shows great courage. Very simple, right? So when you think of heroism, you normally think of acts of bravery, running into a burning building, that kind of thing, but it's more than that. Sometimes it's just putting others first before yourself. So first of all, it's performing a service to others in need, when that person could be a person, a group, or a community. Second, it's engaged in voluntary, even from a military context, of heroism remains an act that goes beyond something required by military duty. Third, a heroic act is one performed with recognition of possible risks and costs in which the individual will accept anticipated sacrifice. Finally, it's performed without external gain anticipated at the time of the act. Just like Henderson said also, he doesn't expect anything. That's his job, so to speak. I was reading your webpage and recognized that your members themselves, they do untold hours of service, educational outreach initiatives, and efforts to promote American patriotism. And a lot of that goes unrecognized also. So it's awesome when we have a chance to recognize the people we need to for these things, even when it's not counted on, even when they're not expecting that. So I want to, Lieutenant Patricia Krafft is who we're nominated today for the Medal of Heroism. And she's been with the Dallas Fire Department for over 31 years. Engine 48A. She brought her crew with her today also. And basically, she personifies the definition of hero. We've had the honor and privilege to work with her for over those 31 years. In that time, she's proven to be a competent, knowledgeable officer and a team leader. She's smart, aggressive firefighter, always putting the interest and the safety of her crew ahead of everything else. So I want to read what the Chief
nominated her with, just so you get an idea of what she went through, okay? So bear with me as I read through his words. On November 27, 2018, Lieutenant Krafft's medal was put to the test while working a 4-alarm structure fire in northeast Dallas. Lieutenant Krafft and her crew were assigned to the task of conducting a primary search of various units located on the second floor of a 3-story condominium. In the process of doing so, a partial structural collapse of the 3rd floor on the far southeast end of the building caused a large volume of smoke and fire to be pushed down the hallway of the 2nd floor where they were working. The order was immediately transmitted to evacuate the structure after the collapse occurred. Due to the heavy volume of smoke and fire, Lieutenant Krafft and her crew became trapped in the unit they were searching. As stated, the order was given to evacuate, and in what they called here Patty's form, she used her calm demeanor and basically said this over the radio. She says, nonchalantly and sarcastically, "We would if we could, but we can't because we're trapped." No stress at all. Basically, "Hey, Chief, I'd love to obey your order, but I can't." At that point, a Mayday emergency was called, transmitted over the radio, and other rapid intervention teams were activated to rescue the crew. As Engine 48 was in need of assistance, Lieutenant Krafft did an outstanding job of maintaining her composure, ensuring her crew that stayed with her. She had 2 young rookies with her. During what seemed to be an eternity, Patty constantly reassured her crew they were going to be rescued and kept them at ease, kept them together. She gave a detailed description of their location to the building, over the radio, and the officer preparing the resources for the rescue. So it was very clear where she was at. There was no discussion necessary. They didn't have to search, they could go immediately. So giving that vital information helped speed up the process. He said, in doing so, precious time was saved, which allowed the rescue group to locate her crew within a few minutes of the Mayday call. Lieutenant Krafft's demeanor throughout the entire incident was calm and cool. Her professionalism, excellent communication skills, and ability to stay calm in a very stressful situation saved her and the lives of 2 young firefighters she had working with her. In his opinion, her actions were truly heroic for that day. So on that particular day, she showed very courageous, outstanding firefighter, excellent officer and true leader, prime example of a hero, and deserves the recognition today. Lieutenant Patricia Krafft.
Thanks, Chief. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Rose among the thorns.
He's known as
Thank you,
Mr. Warren
sir.
throughout.
He is, I can tell, I can tell.
Would you like to say a few words, please?
Well, okay, so everybody lied. They said I didn't have to talk, so. Part of the deal with this, one of the gentlemen had already received an award today. The reason I'm here is because the crew of 57s did everything right. Captain Smith put a second alarm on the fire as soon as he saw it, before he arrived. What that does for us is that gets Truck 19 and Engine 19, which is the RIT team, Rapid Intervention Team, en route. If they hadn't done that, I wouldn't be here today, because everybody did everything right. I was able to stay calm because I knew they were there. So I appreciate this, but it's easier to stay calm when you know that good people are coming to get you. And I'm surrounded by good people. Lucky enough to work with Answer with some great crews, and very proud to be a part of this. Gary Level is retired firefighter. I worked with him when I used to be at 42 years ago. So thank you very much. I'm flattered. I'm honored. And like I said, I'm lucky to be here, but it's the work of other people that made that possible. Thank you.
Chief Wallis, I'd like to have you accept an award on part of the department itself. It's the SAR Flag Award, and it's once again in recognition of the Dallas Fire Rescue Department's support of patriotism and the American flag. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And if you could hang on one more second, we worked with a public information officer, Jason Evans, on putting together the folks who would be honored today for the Dallas Fire Rescue Department. He was unable to join us today, so I wonder if you would accept a certificate of appreciation on his part.
Well, of course. Yeah, just keep it coming. Yep, so. We play the, we need to do a picture there? Or it's the same one as, or just
in case the
first one you got.
disappears.
That's yeah.
what I'm like.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right. Oh, no problem.
Okay. And once again, I'd like to thank the members of the Dallas Fire Rescue Department for their service to the community and for all you do. Once again, let's recognize both the Dallas Police Department and the Dallas Fire Rescue Department.
For all of the teams that appeared today for a free breakfast, who didn't get an award or who didn't make a presentation, raise your hand. Here, okay. Thank you very much for your service. A little something special. There you go. And now the hungry ones start coming out. Okay. Who else here?
You can't resell them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking for service personnel.
Okay. Thank you, T1. Yeah. While I have the microphone and we're in presentation mode, I would like to present a special award that we were unable to give last month. There's an individual who is here virtually every meeting, although they're technically not a member of SAR. Actually, she's a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution. She's been serving as a coordinator with the Children of the American Revolution for the DAR, but also has been very instrumental in our support for that organization. Bradley Sue Howe, I'd like to have you step forward, please. We'll be presenting the Medal of Appreciation to Bradley Sue.
I told you I missed you last night. Yeah, we were looking for you.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, it's.
Well, Trevor was here, so.
Yeah, Trevor was. But he didn't get to accept. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so
Oh, my
it's
goodness.
for you, so.
Goodness.
There we go, big smile.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Before you go, I want to make a couple.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Then we'll introduce.
Bradley Sue, thank you for all you do and what you continue to do. For some of the folks in the audience, and I'm thinking possibly the younger ones, give you a quick history lesson. There's no quiz on this, okay? But you're probably really trying to understand what the sons of the American Revolution are and now the daughters of the American Revolution. The Sons of the American Revolution were founded in 1889. And they were to support and celebrate any of the, in our purpose, the male lineage that went back to people who fought or supported the revolutionary cause during, before, during, and after the Revolutionary War. So all of the people that are members here, and the same is true for the members of the DAR, because they go through the same research and find out where their ancestors were involved, everybody in this room is a brother or a sister, because we all have patriot ancestors in our families that fought or supported the Revolutionary War on our War for Independence. So that's what we do, and that's what our organization is all about. And we're so tied, obviously, to first responders because we were the real first responders. Okay?
Tom?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I'd like to call Tom Whitelock up to make a special presentation.
Now, the little blurb that our president gave you about what we do should also be inclusive of where we try to reach out to the community to educate them, show them the patriotism that they have and the freedoms that they enjoy because of the sacrifices, not only of veterans in that era of 1700s, but down through the years at all the wars, all of the services, and because of what you as first responders do to ensure that we maintain that freedom and that livelihood. It's a shame that American history starts in the schools nowadays at the Civil War. Very little is emphasized other than maybe a few of the founding fathers. Who were the Minutemen and the Minutewomen and what they gave up in sacrifice. Now also we like to appreciate the services rendered to our society by those individuals who go beyond, like you do, to assist us. This last year has been very much of a turmoil for our chapter. We had a number of illnesses, and likewise we came upon the need for some of what we call the high-techy groups, which are usually females in our family. They're the ones that can type fast, actually can see the keyboard, who understand quickly what we need in order to report our activities, and likewise. We had one young lady who provided that service to us at the midnight hour and was able to assist us in all of our paperwork and reports and everything else, as long as we kept her husband drunk in the other room. In any case, it is with a deep appreciation and honor that we present Judith Van Fossen a certificate of appreciation signed by somebody in the family, and likewise to receive a pin designating her as an assistant and helpful hand to the SAR. She gets the WOSAR pin. Judith, would you join me?
Come on.
Yes, but none of us can type.
Well, I guess that's true. I know you, yes. Thank you very much.
What I want is you to hold this right there
Okay.
with him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take a picture since nobody else did.
Oh, a woosar. A woosar.
That's exactly how you say it. Woo!
Woo, sir.
Okay, here we go. We thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Now, if you want to know the true story, first of all, Jerry Pinkerton knows for a fact that I have no computer skills whatsoever. I admit that. I was very fortunate in my business career to have a lot of good people on my staff that knew how to do these kind of things. At home, I'm lost. In the midnight hour, we're in the middle of doing our annual report for the chapter, which is somewhere 60 to 70 pages. And I've got good people like Gary Lovell and our secretary at the back wondering where our annual report is. Mr. Whitelock, who has been around here since the original stone was raised, had his computer crash at 11:30 at night. And we've got 24 and a half hours to get the report done. Now, he doesn't panic about anything, but he did call me and he said, I need some help. And I said, don't call me. Well, bottom line was Judy stepped in and did what needed to be done, and we got it finished, and it looked pretty good, and we got it submitted. So thank you. Appreciate for all that stuff. Okay. On one other personal note, I would say, besides just having great affection and respect for the first responders, in my own family, we have a brother-in-law who's a retired fireman from Engine House number 6 in Columbus, Ohio. And he served wonderfully and dutifully for 35 years. And I was talking with him last week, and I told him that this is our annual meeting this year, and he said, we'll send the good vibes from Columbus, from Engine House number 6. So there it is. Okay, as we get to the balance of the meeting, there's a couple things I just want to say. One of the things I wanted to institute this year as I became the president was to get involved with the chapter, and we're going to be working on that from every meeting moving forward. One of the things I'm doing is this afternoon after this meeting, we've got another one. I've got an advisory council that's going to give us some advice and counsel, some of the members that have been around here longer than I have, and we're going to talk about the things that we can do to grow the chapter, get people involved, and more importantly, something that has just come up. I was unaware of this, but I am now fully aware of it. July of this year, the Dallas chapter, which right now we're the largest chapter. I don't know whether we're the oldest or not. But we were founded, this chapter was founded in 1929. So we have our 90th anniversary. And we want to be able to celebrate that and make news of that because we've been around for a long time. And I think the only person that knows more about that than I do is probably Ralph McDowell, because I think he helped founded the chapter. Or something like that. Anyhow, okay.
No, he signed the Constitution.
Oh, he signed the Constitution, that's right. Yeah, he and Ben, that I forgot, yes, okay. He and Judge Wilson, yes. Oh, well, you can't. By the way, anybody who is on duty or has a family, if you feel that you need to leave, please don't hesitate. It's not going to bother us. We'd love to have you stay, but if you feel that you want to leave for stuff that you have to do, we go through this every year, and we don't want to hold you beyond your, and you probably want to go to Kroger, right? Okay, anyhow, knowing that, we're going to have the advisory council meeting, and we'll be talking more about all these issues, and including that 90th anniversary that we've got. Mark, anything for the words of encouragement for next meeting or anything?
I believe we're going to be honored to have our incoming state president, David Temple.
David Temple.
Will be here to speak.
Yes, he will.
And he will, I think, just have been inducted as the new state president.
He will be the new president by that time, because he and I will both be at the state meeting down in Austin. Right. Second vice president, where's my good friend Alan? Alan, for the cause. Anything about the ROTC or any of that kind of stuff? All right. For those of you who may not understand some of this, we also honor the junior ROTC units at the local high schools. Last year, we gave out 45 awards to various ROTC juniors in high school. And these kids are just amazing when you get to hear about them. Okay, the secretaries, the minutes, I think we saw them. I guess no additions to the minutes. And our treasurer's report, Mr. Nick, you passed it out. It was impeccable, and I thank you for your concentration on that. And now, Jerry Pinkerton, would you please join me up here?
And I'm going to bring Brendan up here too. So, let me just talk for just a moment. We have a number of prospective members in the pipeline, and sometimes we're very fortunate to get a number of them approved at the same time. Today, we're going to induct 3 of the 5 that were approved in the last month, and that's quite a number. So we're continuing to grow the organization, and there is a tremendous amount of interest in the Sons of the American Revolution. So we do. I helped him get in because he couldn't type, and finally his wife got his application together enough that between her and me, he's standing here today. So come on up here. We're going to induct 3. You have a thing? Okay, we have, I guess we'll do this all at once. We have Kirby Tassos. Somewhere in here, Kirby, is your, I'm going to go ahead and, before we get to the pictures, we will, we'll do that. There's one. You look that over while we get the next one. Ray Fox. These gentlemen are why I do what I do. I go, you know, you have to go through a lot of stuff before you ever get somebody to the point of being able to get their documentation together. So, Russell, it's in here somewhere. You saw it, didn't you? Okay. So you want to take over now?
Gentlemen, will you raise your right hand? Having been accepted as a member of the Dallas chapter of the Texas Society of the Sons of the American Revolution, do you, as a descendant of one of the patriots and heroes of the American Revolution, affirm your ancestors' faith in the principles of liberty and our constitutional republic? And will you pledge to support the patriotic, historical, and educational objectives of the National Society of the Sons of the American Revolution? I take pleasure in presenting you your membership certificates. And are any of you accompanied by family? Then I will have compatriot Pinkerton present you with your rosette. Now, this rosette is the official emblem of the Sons of the American Revolution. Its blue and buff colors represent the colors of the uniform that was worn by General George Washington. Wear it proudly, as we all do. Compatriots, we welcome you to the Dallas chapter. We ask that you work with us to fulfill the purposes and objectives of the Sons of the American Revolution. At this time, we invite you to say a few words about your ancestor.
My ancestor came about by my mother. She worked for a man, Alfred Pendleton, for 21 years at the Federal Department of Agriculture. she knew that somehow we were related but didn't know how. Well, I found out how. Benjamin Pendleton was a Minuteman from Amherst, New Jersey. Not New Jersey, Virginia. And he is also the second great-grandfather of my great-grandmother and my fourth great-grandfather. I appreciate everything he's done and all the roads and trips I've been on and all the people I've got to know in this church. Thanks.
My name's Ray Fox. I'm doing this for my mother. She had been after me for like 20 years to join. And so here I am. My ancestor is Frederick Fox. He was he started at the beginning, fought in the battles up in New York, was in Valley Forge. He was a drummer boy in the Pennsylvania Regiment, and very proud to be a part of one of his ancestors and for what all he did for our country. Thank you.
I'm Kirby Tassos, and I'm very surprised to be here. It seems like only yesterday I was talking with a member of the Greek church. He was a member of the SAR, and he said, and I'd heard I had an ancestor in the revolution. He said, you ought to check it out. And I went to the website, and I'm not a computer guy either. It usually says Safari will not open the page. So I typed up SAR, and miraculously it came up. Must be a divine intervention. And I typed in a little letter, and I got a hold of Jerry Pinkerton contacted me, and the rest is history. But I looked up my ancestor. His name is Thomas Amy. His ancestors were from France, and they came over in 1670, I believe. And he was based in what is now Tennessee. It used to be North Carolina, and he fought in the North Carolina Regiment 3 under General Jethro or something, I don't remember his name. And he was a supply captain. He got all the supplies by some means for the Revolutionary War. And at the end of the war, I believe George Washington awarded him a couple thousand acres in Tennessee, which is now the town of Rogersville, Tennessee, which I think he's founded the town and donated it to the city. So that's my ancestor. I'm very proud to be here. Thank you.
Go ahead, Tom. We're going to present you these challenge coins, and Tom will explain what the challenge coins are.
The challenge coins that we give out to new members and to special guests from time to time actually started during about World War I. It goes way back in antiquity, but World War I is where we can establish the fact that there was a troop of the new flyers that were just doing the biplanes, and they were flying over Europe. And they had a squadron that had gone out many, many times. And one of the guys wanted to celebrate it, so he got a little coin made to give to all of the pilots in the squadron. As luck would have it, they're over France, they're over Germany, one gets shot down, he's taken captive. And of course, he doesn't speak anything but English, and he's roughed up and kept as a prisoner, and finally he escapes and he gets over to the French lines. Well, the French lines, he still couldn't speak French, but he had no identification because everything was taken away from him. But he had a little pouch around his neck that had the coin in it, and the coin had printing on it. They opened the pouch and they saw the coin, and they recognized him as being from America. They took him into their house and they took care of him, and he eventually was sent back to the United States after the war and lived a very nice life. So he kept that challenge coin all his life. Well, now we use that challenge coin as a bondship and friendship. Now, with some of the guys like Pinkerton and Whitelock, if you happen to be out enjoying an evening, and one of those guys takes that challenge coin and they pop it on the table, you better have yours with you. Because if you don't, you're buying the drinks. So carry it with you at all times.
Thanks. That concludes the registrar's report.
Thank you. Congratulations. You can't go that way. By the way, if there's anybody in the first responders group that has an interest in finding about their ancestors as it equates to membership in the SAR, please don't hesitate to contact us, and Mr. Pinkerton or myself will get back with you.
Hopefully you can type.
Hopefully you can type. Thank you. Okay, a report from our historian, Mr. Slonaker, who's shaking hands right now. Well, I'll skip over that and I'll go to our chaplain, Frank Pounders. Thank you. I missed you last week and I missed you this morning, but I'll let you finish the meeting. But any reports from your chair? No? Okay, good. Committee Chairman, Ralph McDowell on membership.
One thing I just got from all, excuse me. First I make a check for $26. Thank you all for shopping with the vote.
Love that.
And, Mr. President, I have one other little thing I'd like to.
Please.
The last couple of years, our chapter has recognized when a member was unable to pay the dues. Now, we have another member in that category. And as a dues chairman, I get this feedback trying to get them to pay their dues, and sometimes they'll come across one that just is unable. So I'd like to present to the chapter and make a motion that we pay the dues for James Martin. James' wife is Pat Martin. She's been very active in the DAR. She's helped our chapter many times with membership. And I urge you to pass this motion. So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? It's passed. Thank you. Mr. Robert Kittrell from the Color Guard.
We're entering a busy season for the Color Guard. I mean, with the ROTC and citizenship presentations right now, coming up in April and on in through May. But I got a email from Ted Wilson, who's the North Commander, and of the Color Guard. He said, please advise all members of your chapter, and I believe I've tried to contact everyone in here that's already in the Color Guard, but in your chapter and anyone else that I have missed about the Medal of Honor Parade. And in Gainesville, Texas on April 13, 2019, it always comes whenever we have a chapter meeting every year. And what the Color Guard does is sign in, so we'll be counted present. And then, I know Tom gets here about 7 o'clock on April the 13th every year. And so we'll be counted present, because it is a ways up to Gainesville from here. And the parade will start at 10 o'clock, but we need to be there between 9 and 9:30 anyway, and according to Ted. And he will have a trailer this time, those that don't want to walk and ride, but he needs to be notified that you want to ride and wave to the bystanders, or you can be in the marching unit. And probably Tom and I will still be, well, I'll probably try to catch up. So Tom will be out there waving the camera and saying hello with his hand and saying hello. So, but Ted needs to know, and he wants to be notified that he can save you a spot on the trailer. This is a boon because there's some that are just slow walkers in the parade. I'm one of them, have to catch up. Okay, now, according to, Tom made out this agenda here, so he says new uniform sources on website. If you go to that website that's on the program, texar.org/Texas, you'll find at least 10 sources for a uniform. And there's other information there too, not only a uniform, but materials there you can use. Okay. But getting a little bit and beyond the parade itself, gosh, we've got coming up the Providence Christian School in Dallas, April the 10th at 8 o'clock. That's on the other side of Inwood, on Lovers Lane. And then we've got the Polka Festa Parade coming up, May the 25th. We've got the Odie Murphy Parade coming up June the 22nd. We've got the Lake Highlands and Park Cities Parades, July the 4th. There's always a dash to Park Cities to be in that parade. And the Veterans Day Parade, also coming up, November the 11th. We'll also have a trailer for Ted Wilson. So that's all I have to report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Robert.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems every year that we have the Medal of Honor Parade up in Gainesville, it always comes on the second Saturday when we have our meeting. So we'll have split representation there because Tom has a split personality. But that's another story. Okay, John Morton, how about the Veteran Affairs?
I want to cover three things. We had our poster contest, and we had the posters out last meeting, and we're going to give about $500 to students that participated in the poster contest. And we had about 30 students. Each student, even though if they didn't get any money, they will get a certificate of appreciation. Just want to update you on that. The lady that won the teachers contest, American history teacher, she won the state, and now she's going to the national. And I want to take a minute here just to go over about, so we don't forget our veterans. We very much need deodorant, toothpaste, shower cream, powder, lotions, razors, etc. for our veterans. And I would hope we could get better participation than we have now. It's also jackets and blankets are very important, especially during the winter for the homeless veterans that we have out there. So, like I try to do every meeting, I would like to encourage everybody to bring something to the meeting. And our president is putting together a pamphlet that we're going to pass out every meeting to kind of get people more, get us to have more participation. And I thank you on behalf of our great veterans. Thank you.
One of the things that came up last week is I've been doing a visitation circuit of the other chapters, just kind of get a flavor for what they do and how they do it. And because we can always do better, and so there's nothing wrong with copying somebody that's doing it better than we are. When I was at the Plano chapter meeting with a few of our state officers the other day, I heard a lady who spoke from the Bonham Hospital, the Veterans Hospital, and that's what gave us the idea about there's other things that we could be looking at besides bringing in a bunch of coffee and stuff. So I'm putting together a little flyer that I'm going to get with John and Mr. Fairborn about, and we're going to pass it out at the next meeting so that you'll see that there's a whole agenda of things that you can bring and we can donate. And it's so well received because the lady from the hospital was very, very initiative of the things that we can do, and I appreciated doing that. Okay, right now, is there any old business to be, oh, you know what I did forget? Joe, you were shaking hands. Anything you want to say? Anything for the cause? No. Okay. How about old business? Is there any old business to the floor? All right, how about new business? Anything to be brought up new? Our State Secretary, Drake.
I'm just going to talk theater around, ready to come all the way up there. By the time I get all the way up there, your meeting will be past 2 over. I want to invite everybody to the state convention that will be in about 3 weeks, I think, as Tom mentioned. Tom's going to be there. It's a very important meeting for your Dallas chapter, okay, because the new incoming state president is going to be David Temple, a longtime member of the Dallas chapter. Additionally, compatriot Robert Catrina is going to gets the Patriot Medal. We only get 5 or 6 of those every year, and that's a big deal, so let's get another round. You've already turned in your delegates, I think.
I have.
We welcome more down there. It's going to be in Austin at the South Park Hotel, Omni South Park. It's a nice place. They have good food. It'll be a good event. We're looking forward to having many of y'all there to make it. Thank you.
Thanks, Drake.
Yeah, sorry. It's always the first weekend in April, most of the time. Next year it will actually be the last weekend in March. We try and arrange it around Easter.
Right.
It's going to be starting on Thursday, April the 4th. Actually, let the people start coming in. April the 5th is Friday, and all the committee meetings start, and April 6th will be our youth awards luncheon, where we award the poster contest, essay contest, et cetera, and the banquet on Saturday night, when he'll get his medal, and David Temple will become state president. So next time you see David, yes, he'll be your state president as well as for a long time in Dallas.
Thanks, Drake. Yeah, we were very fortunate. I was talking with David, and knowing that he and I were both going to be at the meeting in Austin. One of the things that the state president has to do, as we know from Tom Jackson visiting us last fall, they try to make a meeting in every chapter. Well, he's a member here, and the chapter, the national meeting was on one Saturday, and we meet the next Saturday. I thought, hey, you're coming home. Why don't you just come to our meeting? So we'll be the first chapter to get the new president. So that's good. Okay, without any further ado, I'd like to call on our chaplain, Frank Pounders. Would you give us, oh, I'm sorry, I got to do the door prizes. Got to do the door prizes. I forgot. Thank goodness you're here. I would have forgotten. Mr. Nick? He's doing the spread. How many we got this time?
7.
Got 7. Okay. Let's start with 780. 758. All right. Marshall is in. He wins every meeting. That's great. 755. 768. All right, Warren. 779. 778. All right, John. 763. 762. All right. How many we got? 3 more. Okay. How about 781? Seven, 8, 3? Seven, 6, 9. All right, right here. New member, thank you. Go ahead and get yourself a deal. 770. Last one, 770. Chalmers, all right. Okay. All right. Now, Mr. Chaplain, would you please lead us in the benediction?
Let's recognize who we are. Children of God. God is good, and every one of us is after the business of making good happen for everybody here and everywhere in this world. Let's all join together in blessing the world. For today is the turmoil. Let us bless the world so that it can bring itself into a sense of peace. And then God can reign again. We thank you for that. In the name of Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing and join me in the SAR recessional. Until we meet again, let us remember our obligations to our forefathers who gave us our Constitution, the Bill of Rights, an independent Supreme Court, and a nation of free men. We are adjourned.